Navigating the complexities of obtaining a U.S. visa can be a daunting task for many applicants. With stringent regulations and meticulous scrutiny, it's crucial to approach the application process with thorough preparation and a clear understanding of the requirements. Understand the visa type. Different visa types have different requirements and purposes like tourism, business, study, or work. Misalignment between your purpose and the visa type is a common reason for denial. Complete applications thoroughly. Every question on the visa application form should be answered accurately and completely. Incomplete applications are often returned or denied. Pay special attention to names, dates, and other personal information, as mistakes here can cause significant delays. Prepare adequate documentation. Gather all necessary documents before applying. This typically includes a valid passport, photographs as per specifications, financial statements, employment letters, and travel itineraries. Check the specific requirements for your visa type as they can vary. Demonstrate strong ties to home country. Consular officers look for evidence that you will return to your home country after visiting the U.S. This can be demonstrated through job commitments, family ties, property ownership, or ongoing educational courses. Lack of strong ties is one of the most common reasons for visa denial. Have a clear itinerary. For tourist visas, it's important to have a detailed travel plan. This includes dates of travel, places you plan to visit, hotel bookings, and return flight reservations. A well-planned itinerary shows the consular officer that your visit is well thought out and temporary. Show sufficient financial means. You need to prove that you can financially sustain yourself during your stay in the U.S. Bank statements. Pay slips or a letter from a financial sponsor can serve as evidence. Insufficient proof of financial stability is a red flag for visa officers. Practice for the interview. Visa interviews can be daunting, but practicing helps. Anticipate common questions like the purpose of your visit, how long you plan to stay, and why you chose the U.S. for your visit. Practicing helps you answer confidently and reduces the chances of getting nervous during the actual interview. Dress appropriately for the interview. Dressing neatly and professionally shows respect for the process. It's not necessary to be overly formal, but a clean and tidy appearance makes a good impression. Be punctual for the interview. Arriving late can lead to a rushed interview or even a missed appointment. Plan to arrive at least 15 minutes early to account for any unforeseen delays. Maintain a positive attitude. A positive and respectful demeanor can go a long way. Even if you feel nervous, try to maintain composure and answer questions politely. The consular officer's impression of your attitude can influence their decision. Understand visa denial. Reasons. Being aware of common denial reasons can help you prepare a stronger application. These reasons include insufficient ties to the home country, incomplete application forms, and lack of financial stability. Avoid providing misleading information. Honesty is crucial in your visa application and interview. Misrepresenting facts, exaggerating details, or providing false information can lead to immediate denial and future ineligibility. Consular officers are trained to detect inconsistencies and untruths. Consult a visa specialist or attorney if necessary. Complex cases such as prior visa denials or legal issues may require professional guidance. A specialist or attorney can provide advice tailored to your specific situation. They can also help navigate the complexities of immigration law. Check for country-specific requirements. Different countries may have unique arrangements or additional requirements with the U.S. It's important to check if there are any specific requirements or processes for applicants from your country. This information can usually be found on the website of the U.S. Embassy or consulate in your country. Ensure passport validity. Most visas require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months beyond the period of your intended stay in the U.S. If your passport is close to expiring, renew it before applying for the visa. A passport with insufficient validity is a common reason for application rejection. Apply early. Visa processing times can vary, and there may be delays due to high demand or other factors. Applying well in advance of your planned travel date gives you a buffer in case of delays. It also shows the consular officer that you are organized and serious about your travel plans. Follow the application process correctly. Each step in the visa application process is important. From accurately filling out forms to paying the correct fees, attention to detail is key. Errors or omissions can lead to delays or denials of your application. Prepare for English language questions. The visa interview will likely be conducted in English. If English is not your first language, practicing key phrases and responses can be helpful. Clear communication is important to convey your travel plans and intentions effectively. Use professional translators if needed. If any of your supporting documents are not in English, they need to be professionally translated. The translations must be accurate and complete. Do not attempt to translate documents yourself if you are not a certified translator. Be clear and concise in responses. During the interview, answer questions directly and avoid providing unnecessary information. Be honest and straightforward in your responses. The consular officer appreciates clear and concise answers that directly address the questions. Don't argue with the consular officer. If you disagree with a question or a perceived assumption, remain calm and provide clarifying information politely. It's important to maintain a respectful and cooperative demeanor. Understand the visa waiver program. Citizens of certain countries may travel to the U.S. for tourism or business for stays of 90 days or less without obtaining a visa. Check if your country is part of this program. If eligible, this can be a simpler alternative to a visa. Know the limits of your visa. Understanding the restrictions and privileges of your visa type is crucial. For example, tourist visas typically do not allow employment in the U.S. Violating visa conditions can lead to serious consequences, including deportation and future ineligibility. If denied, understand why. If your visa application is denied, politely ask the officer for the reason. Understanding the reason for denial can help you address the issue in future applications. It's important to know that a denial doesn't necessarily mean you can't reapply. Avoid common pitfalls. Common mistakes include applying for the wrong visa type, providing incomplete or incorrect information, and failing to demonstrate strong ties to your home country. Being aware of these pitfalls helps you avoid them. Research and thorough preparation can significantly reduce the risk of these errors. Keep updated on immigration laws. U.S. immigration laws and policies can change. Staying informed about current laws and regulations is important for a successful application. You can find this information on official U.S. government websites or through news outlets focusing on immigration. Consider the timing of your application. Certain times of the year, like summer or holiday seasons, might have higher application volumes. Be aware of any upcoming changes in visa policies or fees that might affect your application. Research U.S. consulate specifics. Each U.S. consulate or embassy may have slightly different procedures or requirements. Research the specific procedures of the consulate where you will apply. This information can usually be found on their official website. Seek recommendations from successful applicants. Talking to people who have successfully obtained a U.S. visa can provide valuable insights. However, remember that each case is unique and what worked for someone else might not apply to you. Ensure consistency in information provided. The information you provide on your application forms should match what you say during the interview. Inconsistencies can raise doubts about the credibility of your application. Double-check all your documents and practice your interview responses to ensure consistency. Prepare supplementary documentation. Depending on the type of visa, additional documents such as letters of invitation, proof of event registration, or travel confirmations may be required. Ensure these documents are legitimate and clearly support your reason for travel. Having thorough and relevant supplementary documentation can strengthen your application. Understand employment restrictions. For non-work visas, such as tourist or student visas, it's important to understand that you are generally not allowed to take up employment in the U.S. This also includes unpaid internships or volunteer positions in some cases. Violating these employment restrictions can lead to serious consequences, including visa cancellation and future ineligibility. Be prepared to discuss your plans post-visit. You may be asked about your plans after returning from the U.S. Prepared to discuss your future commitments in your home country, such as a job, family, or ongoing studies. This demonstrates your intent to return home after your visit to the U.S. Check for any health-related requirements. Some visa categories may require specific vaccinations or health checks. Be aware of the health requirements for your specific visa type and ensure you meet them before your interview. Failing to meet health requirements can delay or negatively affect your visa application. Avoid overstaying on previous visits. If you've previously been to the U.S., ensure you did not overstay your visa. Overstaying can significantly impact your chances of getting another visa. Consular officers have access to travel records, so be honest about your travel history. Be aware of security and background checks. Security and background checks are a standard part of the visa process. These checks can take time, so be patient if your application is undergoing additional scrutiny. It's important to provide any requested information promptly and accurately. Don't rely solely on a third party for application. While getting help from travel agents or consultants can be useful, be actively involved in your application process. Understand each part of your application and ensure all information is accurate. Reliance on third parties can sometimes lead to misinformation or errors. Avoid unnecessary travel before your interview. In the months leading up to your visa interview, avoid travel that might complicate your application. This includes travel to countries with unstable political situations or those known for immigration fraud. Travel history can be a factor in the visa decision-making process. Have a record of previous visits to the U.S. If you have visited the U.S. before, be prepared to discuss your travel history. Having a record of your previous visits, including dates and purposes of travel, can be helpful. A good travel history can support your application, while discrepancies can raise concerns. Understand the impact of your social media. Consular officers may review your social media profiles as part of the vetting process. Ensure that your social media presence aligns with the information provided in your application. Inconsistent or controversial posts on social media can negatively impact your application. Ensure no mistakes on application forms. Even small errors on application forms can cause significant issues. Double-check all entries for accuracy, especially personal details like your name, date of birth, and passport number. Mistakes can lead to misunderstandings or suspicions about the validity of your information. Be ready to prove relationship status. If you are traveling with or to visit a spouse, partner, or family in the U.S., be prepared to prove your relationship. Documents like marriage certificates, birth certificates, or joint financial statements can be useful. Authentic evidence of your relationship can help establish the legitimacy of your visit. If students have educational documents ready. For student visa applicants, having all educational documents organized is crucial. This includes admission letters, scholarship awards, and proof of financial support for your studies. Demonstrating preparedness and commitment to your educational pursuits can strengthen your application. If employed, have proof of employment. Proof of employment in your home country can be a strong indicator of your intent to return. Provide recent payslips, an employment letter stating your position and leave approval, and other relevant documents. This evidence can significantly bolster your case, especially for tourist or business visas. Have a clear understanding of your visa conditions. Knowing the limitations and rights granted by your visa is important. Violating visa conditions can have serious implications, including deportation or future ineligibility for U.S. visas. Regularly check email for communications. The U.S. Embassy or consulate may communicate with you via email regarding your application. Check your email regularly, including your spam folder for any updates or requests for additional information. Be ready to provide biometric information. Most U.S. visa applications require biometric information like fingerprints and a photograph. Be prepared for this step, which is usually scheduled after the submission of your application. Have a backup plan. It's wise to have an alternative plan in case your visa application is delayed or denied. This could include changing travel dates, exploring visa options in other countries, or addressing the reasons for visa denial in future applications. Having a backup plan can reduce stress and uncertainty in case things don't go as expected. Stay calm if faced with administrative processing. Some visa applications require additional administrative processing, which can extend the decision time. If your application is under administrative processing, stay patient and provide any additional information requested. This process is routine for certain cases and does not necessarily indicate a problem with your application. Regularly check the status of your application. Most U.S. consulates and embassies allow you to check the status of your visa application online. Regularly monitoring your application status helps you stay informed about its progress. If there are delays or issues, knowing your application's status can help you take appropriate action. These detailed tips are designed to guide you through the U.S. visa application process and improve your chances of approval. Remember, while following these tips can enhance your application, they do not guarantee visa approval. Each application is assessed on its individual merits by the consular officer. These detailed tips are designed to guide you through the U.S. visa application process and improve your chances.